So we right. Let's do it.
No shortcuts. Might have seen no shortcuts. Here to give you motivation and a little bit of inspiration. No shortcuts. Me and the boss ain't easy. Every day somebody needs me. It's no shortcuts. I wake up stretched, say a prayer, coffee and then some fresh air. Time to get it poppin'. I got a fresh 24. Hopefully I'm blessed with plenty more. Meanwhile, I'm thankful for the fire on the inside burning. I keep earning as the world keeps turning. The thing about life is you never stop learning. Hoping everybody Maxwell, Vernon. You make a plan, then you stick to it. Even in tough times, we going worldwide, you understanding me, mate? Providing a platform where like minds can meet. Closed mouths don't get fed, want everybody to eat. On Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch. Tuesdays at noon, let's all get rich. It's no shortcuts. Tell a friend to tell a friend about the No Shortcut Show.
Microphone check 1 2 1 2. How we doing today, ladies and gentlemen? How is my feedback? Am I laggy? Am I good? We good. All right. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Come on in. You know what day it is? It's Tuesday. You know what time it is? It's 12 p.m. Famous likes to celebrate brunch. Yes, sir. We're going to give everybody a few moments to come on in. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition, episode 55?
55.
Episode 55 of the No Shortcut Show, ladies and gentlemen. Come on in, drop us a comment, say hello, let us know where you're watching from. And we're glad to have you guys here with us today. It's another beautiful day in the neighborhood. The weather is warming up. We're in between spring and summer.
Yeah, it's summertime. It's summertime, man.
Yeah, it's almost time to pull out that Will Smith summertime mix.
Yeah. it's still a little bit of delay there, but I'm thinking it's going to correct itself if we can
Okay,
continue
if
keeping
not,
it.
if
So,
not, I'll hit the X one more time and come right back on in.
no, I
But
think you're good.
we'll see how it flows. Did I freeze? It looks like
Now
I
you
froze.
froze.
All right, hold
What
on. Can you
again
hear me?
there? I can still hear.
Ho-
Yeah, oh, I see you now.
Hold on. Hang tight. Let me do this one more time so we can give our try to give our best presentation
Yeah.
possible. Yeah, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll be right back. As you guys come on in, feel free to
Yeah.
share this. Say hello to DJ Famous. I'll
Yes,
be
talk to
right
me.
back.
Well, no, you're good now.
Commercial
You're
break.
good now. It fixed
I'm
itself.
good.
Yeah, you're good. It
Okay.
fixed
All right.
itself.
Cool.
Yeah, that's what I
All
thought would
right. So
happen. It'll just catch
so
up.
I
So
don't have to go anywhere. All
don't
right.
have to go
Awesome.
anywhere. What's up, man?
Yeah.
How you doing?
Man, I'm thankful. I'm grateful. I'm blessed. I'm humble. I'm highly favored,
Yeah.
and most of all, glad to be here.
Yeah, you're reading that cue card behind
A
you?
little bit. I add my own little bullet points sometimes, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's only that's our little thing. All platforms have their little things they do that just kind of insider, and that's one of ours. So I give away a little bit of the secret sauce. Yeah, I
Yeah.
read off that cue card right there, and then
Let
add a
me
couple.
get you. Let me get you
add-
to hang up and call right back real
yeah,
quick
yeah.
because it
Hank,
did it again.
okay, y'all
Might
hang
be your
tight.
internet.
Who
While he's
knows?
while he's refreshing, talk to me. Who's
I'll be
here?
right back.
Who's watching with us? Miss Francis in the house. How you doing? Thank you for joining us as usual. Shout out to Faith. Hello, Faith. Good to see you
Yes,
back
yes.
as well. What's up, homeboy?
I was talking with my family earlier, so I think Faith says she's finally on summer break, so she gets to tune
Yes,
back
and
in.
she got to join us.
Shout out to my sister, former guest of the show. I think my mom is here. Shout out to
Yep.
my mom and the Our Power community. Thank you guys for being here. I got to say shout out to my son though, because today is his
Hmm.
birthday.
Yeah,
Well,
buddy.
Isaiah is ten years old today. 10 years
Happy
old.
birthday,
Yeah.
Isaiah. For sure.
Yeah, yeah. So we did a little celebrating this past weekend. I was off on Saturday. We did a little bit of celebrating. Went to the Lake Wiley Bowl and Bounce and hung out there and let them play, do laser tag, and eat pizza and all that good stuff. Then I went and
Yeah.
visited my family, my mom and dad, on Sunday, and I got a chance to see my sister and my brother-in-law as well. Then mom and dad had us over for dinner after we
Hmm.
left their church program, and continue the celebration there, and they've been showering him with lots of love and lots of monetary gifts, so which he's just smiling ear to ear about, man. But
That's
most
awesome.
importantly, I be trying to teach him like, yo, okay, it's nice to have, but you got to put most of it away. Spend a little bit, but put
Hmm.
most of it away.
That's right. That's right. Shout out
Yeah,
to Isaiah. Happy birthday. We're gonna work
thank
through this
you.
delay, man. I don't know what it is, but we just gonna
Okay,
work through
I
it.
did a restart to my computer
Yeah, we just gonna work
before I
through it.
can, and it may just be still working out its kinks or whatever. Let me glance
It's
at my
okay. We can
Wi-Fi.
still we can see you and we can hear you well. So
Yeah,
it's just they're not matching up, but that's okay.
yeah, yeah. Now, did I freeze again?
You did, but now you're back.
Okay, okay. Well, we're gonna work through it, ladies and gentlemen. We're live, and this is one of the joys of
Yeah.
being live. It tests your intelligence, like but we know you can't stop.
Yeah, you can't stop.
You
It's
can't
live now.
stop.
We do all the
Yeah, and we
pre-prep we can, but it's
Yeah,
it's
and
live
we
now.
and we appreciate you all for joining us. That's my sister there.
Shout out to
Yeah, thank
Faith.
you, Faith. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate all of you for joining us. Those that have supported our platform. Many of you from day one,
Hmm.
which we're like a year and a half in. Episode 55.
Yeah.
We had like 334 members in our No Shortcuts community now, so we got a great thing going here. So and as I always say, yes, DJ Famous and myself, our faces are the ones that are on the screen, but you guys are the ones that keep the boat afloat, and we
Hmm.
appreciate you for
Absolutely.
sure.
Make sure you share this, share the post with your friends, with your family,
Yeah,
anyone else that you think would like to see this that they don't know about this show yet. Also, make sure you follow us on YouTube.
yeah. Shout out to everybody.
Hit the sub on YouTube, on Twitch if you're watching on Twitch.
Hmm.
Shout out to Twitch as well.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, and I think we do have a few people on YouTube right now, don't we?
Yeah, yeah, yes, we
Yeah,
do.
so shout
Yeah,
out to everybody over on YouTube. Shout out
yeah.
to everybody on Facebook. If you're on Twitch, if you're catching a whiff of us over there on Instagram, we appreciate you. But please be sure to go to our YouTube page, ladies and gentlemen. Do you have the link handy, Famous, before we
I
proceed?
will. It's
All right. Ladies and
YouTube.
gentlemen, and like I was saying, we have 334 members in our No Shortcuts community, but we also need you guys to go over to our YouTube page and hit that subscribe button. And once we get to a certain number, I'm gonna let DJ Famous determine that. We would do some maybe exclusives or some behind the
Hmm.
scenes takes, something to
Yeah,
give you guys a little bit of incentive for going over there. But
yeah,
the
there'll be
point
some
of it all is we
YouTube
want to
content.
build, yeah, we
Like
want to build these
that conversation that was so
algorithms.
funny with you and Tim last week, and then you told me the story
Oh,
off the air. That might have to go
yes,
on the
yeah,
YouTube.
they could have heard that story, man. Tim had me cracking up, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah, because he went all the way into it. I was just making mention of something, and
yeah.
he made
You
a
couldn't
comment
stop
that
laughing
just
on
cracked.
the show.
Oh my gosh, I couldn't help it. I apologize
That's all right,
again.
man. That's what the show is. We just have fun.
Hmm.
We try to be edutainment. You know, we're
Edutainment,
gonna
edutainment.
educate. We're gonna help entrepreneurs like ourselves, people that
Yeah,
are in the beginnings or whatever stages of entrepreneurship, handling their own
yeah,
business or thinking about doing so. You have a dream and you're
yes.
thinking about making that next step, whatever the next step looks like for you. That's what we're
Hmm.
here for, to kind of bring in some people that have done it already, some people
Facts.
that are also, thinking about going to whatever their next step is. And then we
Right.
just share stories and experiences and kind of give you something to look forward to, something to look
Hmm.
out for. Make sure the check clears before you show up, stuff like that.
Yes, make sure the check clears, ladies and
Yeah.
gentlemen. And we all got a little one of those stories. I mean, I think that's unavoidable. If you go into business for yourself,
Yeah.
you're gonna have one or two of those before you figure out how to bypass that from
Yeah.
happening. But no, but like you
Absolutely.
can. That's why it's funny. You look back on it, and it's just funny because you've
It's just
grown.
funny. Like you knew you should have known better, but
Yeah, yeah, should have known better. You give
it
people
happens.
the verbal, I guess the handshake and the verbal,
Yeah.
all right, and you
And
put your faith in
in
that.
the beginnings, you're eager, man. You're like, oh, I can
Yeah,
do this thing right here. Let's do
yeah,
it. Let's do it. And then
yeah,
you
because
come,
you're still in those 10,000 hours. You might be
yeah,
on hour
yeah.
8,965. You know?
Yeah, you did the thing on Saturday, and then
Yeah.
Wednesday come and you're still looking in the mailbox. I'm like, what happened? What
Or,
happened?
or you try to call them, you try to call them
Mailman
and
come.
check on.
Yeah.
You go
Oh, you
right to
got a tracking
voicemail.
number on that? Oh, you got a
Yeah,
tracking number? I can track it myself.
yeah, and then the phone will ring two times,
Yeah.
and then the voicemail comes up. You know, so
Yeah.
we
So
want to
we've been there.
bypass all of that,
We
ladies and
want to
gentlemen.
bypass out of that. Aside
Hmm.
from the birthday celebration, how was your weekend, man?
The weekend was great, man. I'm at a point now where for us to do these recaps, I have
You
to
got to
bring
bring
my
out the
calendar.
calendar. Yeah. Yeah, I'm the
Yeah,
same way.
because it's getting a little blurry.
Mm, yeah.
But let's see. Last Thursday. Okay, so yeah, last Thursday, the chairman. I was with the chairman of the board in Raleigh, North Carolina, at North Hills, and I think I posted in our group the crowd that was out there, and we
Hmm.
had to tussle with the elements. It seems like every year when we go there, there's a little tussle with the elements. So I actually had set up my station twice. I
Mm,
set it up once, and then the sprinkles started coming, and then they got a little heavy.
mm.
And last year we got caught in a storm out there, and Isaiah was with me last year for that one. But I
Okay.
so before we got into all of that, I went ahead and took my keyboards and everything down. Then
Hmm.
after it bypassed, I set them back up. We played.
Yeah.
we yeah.
They're gonna get
We
busy.
and I was like, this is it. I'm not setting them up a third time.
Yeah.
I'm not. Sorry.
Yeah.
But so we finished that. Then we went over to the Cornerstone I guess events venue in Raleigh. It was about 20 minutes away. Did a
Mm.
couple of songs, well, actually a medley of songs for some
Okay.
type of celebratory thing they had going on there. So we
Yeah.
did that Thursday. Friday, I was in Statesville with the chairman of the board and the executives again. Great outdoor, another outdoor concert. That was fantastic. We had a great time. Shout out to everybody out in North Hills at Cornerstone Events Venue in Raleigh, and also shout out to everybody in Statesville. And I had Saturday off, and that's when I did my gathering. For my son's birthday, I was at Mount Dewell
Hmm.
Baptist Church on Sunday morning doing my minister of music duties. Then I went to my mom and dad's church Sunday afternoon for a program. I think it was called the Men in Black. program leading up to Father's Day. So you had
Okay.
some men's groups singing and doing things like that in the service. And
Yeah.
after that, went to my parents and hung out. Celebrated my son's birthday a little bit more. And
Sweet.
here we are, man.
Yeah.
Here we
Good
are.
weekend, man. Shout out to the Kings of Summer, chairman of the board. Yeah.
Yeah, we have some
Kings of
great
Summer.
dates coming up this
Yeah.
week that I'll get into toward the end of the show. Yeah, we
Sounds
keeping
good.
it we keeping it rocking, man.
Yeah,
And
buddy.
it's good to be busy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tis the season.
Absolutely, man.
Uh-huh.
Good to be busy. This is our season for sure. I just had one this past weekend. I had one on Saturday. I can't tell you right now where I was at on Saturday because I already
Okay.
forgot. But I
Okay.
was somewhere
Okay.
at a
See,
wedding.
that's why I
I
have to
did
bring
somebody's wedding on
yeah,
Saturday.
somebody's wedding, right?
I was at
Yeah.
somebody's wedding on Saturday. I don't remember where, but then this weekend it'll be super busy. I got four things this weekend in
Oh,
3 days, so
okay.
it's gonna be crazy.
You sounding like me next week. I'm trying to
Yeah,
figure out how I'm make next week work.
yeah,
But we
absolutely.
gonna make it. We gonna make it
Yeah,
work.
this is that for you, the summer beach season. For me, the
Yeah.
wedding season. Oh, I
Yeah.
lost my screen.
Just yeah.
And then let me tell you about our guest, man.
Let's tell them about
Speaking
her.
of wedding season,
Mm-hmm.
I met this young lady a few weekends ago. I told you I did a wedding in Charleston where I didn't
Yeah.
actually play, I didn't DJ, but I helped with the sound
Mm-hmm.
and I provided the band that played.
Okay.
So I was
Yes.
just there to kind of oversee things and capture some content while I was there. And
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't seen this before. I mean, I've done a bunch of weddings and I hadn't really seen this before. This is like a new thing for me. There
Mm-hmm.
was a live painter painting at the wedding. So like
Very
the
nice.
back, like where the ceremony itself was, she started before I even got there. She was already there, starting
Mm-hmm.
to paint like the background
The
and all that
scenery and
stuff.
whatnot.
And
Uh-huh.
then just all throughout the day, she's painting. Up, it's gonna eventually it ended up being a picture of the bride and groom like kissing at the altar and stuff like that. It was awesome,
Awesome.
man. It was awesome.
Awesome.
So we got to
Yeah.
talking a little bit with her and I and some of the photographers and videographers that were there. We had a few minutes and we got to talking a little bit, and they're good
Mm-hmm.
people. They're good people. So I want to welcome in
Yeah.
our guest for
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
She is the owner of May Paints Live,
May Paints Live.
Maira DeLeon.
Yeah. Ladies and
Good.
gentlemen, make some noise at home or put some applause in the chat as we bring on our special guest for today.
Did I say that right, Myra?
Myra, yeah, my paint's live.
My Paints
Yeah.
Live. Yeah, My Paints
My
Live.
Paints
Yeah.
Live,
How you
yeah.
doing? Thanks for being
I
on
see
with
I
us.
see the wordplay in that. There's a little wordplay, perhaps.
You get it?
Yeah, I did
My
pick it up
Paints
for-
Fly. A double meaning, yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you for being on with us.
Hello. Yeah, thank
Thank
you
you
for
for having
joining us today. Yeah,
Of course.
we were. Yeah, we. I was just gonna let our audience know we had a great conversation in our virtual green room even before we came on. So we're excited to learn more about Myra today and her journey as she ended up becoming a live painter and doing weddings and poetry events and etc. So many other things. So we're just glad to have you here today. Thank you for joining us here at No
for
Shortcuts.
having me. Thank you. I'm happy to be here. Thank
Absolutely,
you.
absolutely, absolutely.
So, Myra, tell us a little bit about where you're from first. Where you're from and where you grew up.
So I actually was born in Texas.
Texas.
But Texas. But
All
don't
right.
ask me about Texas because I really don't know much about it. I was raised in Georgia.
So what about Texas? I'm just
People are
kidding.
like, "Oh, Texas, you should know like this is I'm like, no, I've been there, but I wasn't raised there. So I really
Yeah.
don't
Right.
know much about Texas.
Okay.
But
We
yeah,
understand.
my parents are from Mexico. I was born
Mhm.
in Texas, but I was raised in Georgia from the age of 6. So yeah, I've been a Georgian ever since.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
What was life like growing up in Georgia? Any fond memories, hobbies, interests, family life?
Amazing memories. We grew up very poor in
Uh-huh.
the North Georgia mountains. So it just the other day, like I think like 5 days ago, I went back to like the neighborhood where we had grown
Really?
up my childhood, and
Mm-hmm.
it was so nostalgic, but at the same time, Drake's song was like ringing in my head. It started from the bottom, now we're here.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
I was
yeah,
like,
absolutely.
yes, this is where we started, and
Yeah.
this is where
Humble
I'm at now.
beginnings.
Humble,
Yeah, humble
humble,
beginnings.
and I
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
believe that trailer is still like on, like up there. I thought it would be like already like
Hmm.
torn down
Right,
by now. So
right.
old, but
Wow.
it's
Yeah.
abandoned and it was really old. I mean, some of the windows and doors are missing, and I'm just like, wow,
Mm-hmm.
all of my memories were here, and there were
Hmm.
beautiful memories with like my siblings and my cousins. But
Mm-hmm.
like, wow, that's crazy how
Yeah.
far come.
Yeah. And I got
Yeah.
to be honest with you. Every once in a while, when I go back to Sherrall, like my parents live in a different location now, but every once in a while, if I have time, I go back and ride through where I grew up, so I can
Hmm.
kind of identify with you. Would
Yeah,
say that feeling of nostalgia, and then so many memories
Hmm.
being in that location. So I yeah, I get it. I get
and
it.
as a child, you don't like remember the bad things. Like you
Yeah.
don't realize that you're dividing a piece of like chicken with like 10 people in the house.
Yeah.
You don't think about that because you just remember the fun times with all
Oh
the kids.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
for sure.
but it's just crazy. So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Yeah. Wow.
very
Yeah, that's
blessed.
that's awesome.
So it
And
sounds
Very
like you
blessed.
had siblings.
yeah, I'm the oldest of five.
Okay.
Oh wow. Well, knowing it, no, my mom is in the chat, and she's the oldest of about five too, I believe. So tell us what that was like, because I'm gonna see if this. Mom, you listening? Okay,
Anyone
go
you
ahead.
ask that is the oldest of a lot of kids, it's like they took it hard. Like they were the ones to blame. They were the responsibility. They were the second mom. It was like I literally had to like take
Yeah.
care of all my siblings. And the youngest one is actually 13. So he could be
Okay.
my son.
Yeah.
No. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So it's spread out. Their age
Hmm.
range is spread
Yeah,
there. Okay.
5. My sister is 30. My other sister is 28. My brother is 20. And then my little brother is 13.
Okay.
Awesome,
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah. So you had that meant like you said being the second mom, which meant
Hmm.
probably learning to cook at an early age, doing
Hmm.
laundry
A lot of
at
stuff.
a and also babysitting.
Babysitting is what I was thinking. In-house
And,
babysitter.
and having them tag along because I couldn't do most things whenever I was a teenager.
Right.
So I had to have me everywhere I would go.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
we are of Mexican descent. We
Hmm.
always lived in Georgia.
Hmm.
My husband is actually Puerto Rican, so I was introduced to that side of the
Okay.
Latin America. So like, I love the Caribbean culture.
Yes.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
that's really sweet. So like, whenever we have kids, they're gonna be Mexican and Puerto Rican, and that's gonna
Yeah.
be
That's
like
awesome.
the best of two worlds.
Yeah.
That's
That's
right.
gonna be totally awesome. Yeah, yeah. Oh wow. So we you know we covered where you're from, what your childhood was like, and some of your upbringing. Did you want to comment at all on like your parents or anything like that before we proceed?
Well, my mom, my mom was a single mom for a very long time. So the
Mm-hmm.
only thing I want to say is that like I get a lot of my work ethic from her because she had
Okay.
no other than to work really hard for her
Absolutely.
kids. But when she met my stepdad, which is the father of the two boys,
Uh-huh.
everything kind of changed for her, and she was no longer having to like provide 100% for like all of
Oh,
us.
yes.
But the work ethic I definitely get from her, and she's always instilled in me two things:
Mm-hmm.
God be the center of
Yes.
everything,
Yeah.
and never lose your faith. And then
Mm-hmm.
two, you can do all things if you put your mind to it.
Hmm.
That's the
Yeah.
Yeah.
two
My,
things my mom always taught me.
Yeah, and moms are great for that, as well as dads,
Yeah.
but oftentimes, moms are more, in most cases, more the nurturer and things like that. And you said two things. One was God, and which we are not afraid to speak on our spirituality here on our platform. And it's actually a common thing, not just with Famous and I, but a lot of our guests that we
Hmm.
have on here, and that's part of the recipe to the success.
Yeah.
If we want to be frank, that's
100%.
part of, yeah, part of the recipe. And you saying that you could do all things reminds me of a story with my little brother. He was struggling learning how to tie his shoes for a period, But my mom had him say almost every day. I don't know if she had him write it too, but she would have him quote Philippians 4:13 almost on a daily basis. I can do all things through Christ, which strengthens me, as he learned to tie his shoes. And so even her saying that to him, I remember it. My sister remembers it, and that message just was in all of us.
Mm.
So yeah, so yeah, great. Okay. I digress,
Yeah,
guys.
that's
I
awesome.
get carried away.
That's all right.
I hearing
That's all
different
right.
stories, and that just is very inspirational to
For
who's
sure.
listening, and like obviously the guests. Like that's amazing to hear that part of your
Yeah,
story.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah,
absolutely.
it's not a foreign thing for us to talk about our spirituality or our relationship with God here on this platform. And
Yeah.
like I said, so I'm just gonna accept that it's a part of the recipe for what we're doing as far as being entrepreneurs and things of that nature.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure,
Hmm.
1,000%.
One one
Indeed.
thousand percent. And when you
Yeah.
talk about that work ethic that your mom kind of put in you from a young age, what were some jobs that you had? I know you were in-house babysitter, but did you
Yes.
have any other jobs growing up?
In-house babysitter. I wasn't
Yeah,
getting
you were
paid
working for free.
for free.
Yeah.
Wasn't all that great.
Yeah.
um, I started working at the age of 14,
Mm.
bussing tables.
Okay.
It was under the table because at that,
Hmm.
I don't even think that was legal
Labor
at
laws or
14.
something, right?
Yeah.
So
Right.
it
Yeah.
was under the table. This restaurant owner was like a steakhouse in the little town that we lived in. He gave me a job, and that was my first job. And he would give me cash every week, and I
Hmm.
was having the time of my life. That was the first time that I learned how to like make my own money and like
Hmm.
Yes.
save, manage, and stuff like that. Which is crazy because I didn't have anybody in my immediate family or friends or anybody that would like tell me how to manage money or like how the finance world happened and saving or anything like that. I kind of just learned it on my own.
Yeah.
But after that, it was just one job after the other. I always wanted to work. I always wanted to have my own money. I never wanted to like ask my parents for anything.
Hmm.
Um, and then so after that, I got into retail and then customer service. It wasn't until my grandmother loaned me $2,000 to get a
Hmm.
car at the age of
Hmm.
16 that I was like, oh my God, now I have a car. Now I can work
Hmm.
wherever I want to go.
Yeah.
Right. So I assume you were maybe walking to work or whatever you had to do in the meantime.
Rides,
Hmm.
yeah,
Okay.
rides, walking, or
Yeah.
just drop off, pick up kind of thing. And
Hmm.
then my grandma, like I said, whenever I turned 16, she was like, I'll give you $2,000 and you can go get a car. This is a down payment. So I
Hmm.
went to Gainesville, little old Gainesville back in the day. It
Yeah.
wasn't as big as it is now. And
Uh-huh.
I went to get a $6,000 car, and it literally broke on me when I went home.
Yeah, well, that's the case usually when we get our first vehicle,
Yeah.
It'll last you it'll last you a little while.
Literally leaving the dealership, I got stranded on the side of the road. I didn't even make
Oh
Oh,
it
my
home.
oh,
goodness.
leaving the dealership.
Leaving the dealership. And I was
Wow.
luckily I was with one of my family members. I forgot who it was, and I was like, "This can't be happening. I just bought the car."
Yeah. They was trying to make a come up.
Yeah. What was the lemon law situation then?
Lemon law
What was the lemon law?
at the lemonade stand.
You know what? Till this day, this is why first impressions matter. Till this day, if
Yeah.
someone like name, and I'm not gonna do it to them, but I won't say the name.
Hmm.
But
Mhm.
if someone ever names the name of the dealership, I'm like, beware. I will never go back to
Yeah.
that dealership.
That
Yeah.
does
And,
matter.
and you can say it. We call them out on here. You can say it.
Yeah, they're not a sponsor. But
Nah,
yeah,
nah,
we
it's-
that's important. That first impression, and just in business, taking us to business and entrepreneurship, that's something that we learn on the way because we have those experiences that stick with us, and the negative ones stay with us longer than the good ones. So we got
Yes.
to kind of keep that in mind as well as we're running our own businesses. Because I had not a situation like that, but there was a car dealership when we were looking to buy our minivan, I guess 6 years ago now. And the first place we went to, that first impression was nuts. Like I couldn't. It was like it wasn't run right. I told the guy
Mm,
ahead of time we were coming to look at this specific van. He could have had it cleaned out and stuff because it was
yeah.
pre-owned. He didn't
Right.
have it. It was he could have brought out and washed it. He did absolutely nothing, and it was
Nothing.
just like weird. So every time I see that dealership mentioned somewhere, I'm always like, oh, get
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
out of
Bad
here.
taste.
Yeah. And then we ended up going to another Kia dealership in Rock Hill instead. Spent more money because we ended up doing a brand new one instead of, but we were happy to because the
Yeah.
service was so much better.
Yeah. Service is
You know,
everything.
it
I
was it
tell
was
you.
everything. And that
Yeah.
that first one, I still be like, oh, I can't stand them, dude. Anytime I pass by them in Charlotte, I'm like, yo, get
It
out of
makes your
here.
stomach hurt.
Yeah.
you can apply that to personal, like,
Hmm.
to businesses as well, and entrepreneurs. Like, it's so
Yeah.
Hmm.
important, that first impression, right?
Hmm.
With
Yes.
clients, with other vendors, you never know what connection you're gonna make. Like, I didn't ever think that you were a part of a, a podcast or
Hmm.
anything
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
I just we met, we connected with all the vendors. We had a good time. We were very cordial and kind to each other, and then, like, this happened. Like, you
Hmm.
never know, like, what
Facts.
you're right. So it's like that
Hmm.
first impression really matters. Like, if you were to have been rude to me, or like I would have been rude to you, like, that first
Yeah.
impression, like, wouldn't be
Hmm.
happening. We wouldn't, you
Hmm.
know become friends, or like we wouldn't connect.
Right.
Hmm.
There's
Yeah.
nothing be fruitful about our connection. So
Right.
it's
Right.
really important.
Yeah.
Very important. Very important. And I always,
Sorry, go
yeah,
ahead.
I was no, I was just gonna say I always refer back to that saying, like, treat everybody the same from the janitor to the CEO,
Yeah.
and then
Hmm.
always treat people how you would like to be treated. So if it
Yeah.
makes you feel good when somebody smiles and says hello to you, then do the same to others. And then when it comes to business, just provide service and be honest in everything. Like, don't try to sell a person a car that's gonna break down
Mm.
before you even leave the lot. They knew that, right? They was
Yeah.
just hoping, I hope she make it home.
Hope she make it.
I just hope she make it home.
With sparks in her eyes that she was gonna
Yeah.
have her first car, and they're like, you know
Yeah,
what? I'm not gonna tell
Yeah.
her the truth. thousand
yeah,
dollars Here you go. Give me the two. You'll have 4,000 or whatever left over,
Yeah.
and
right.
pray you get home. And
Yeah.
then
Yeah,
And they're thinking
yeah,
we finally got someone to take this one off our hands.
right, right. That's how it goes sometimes.
That's how it goes.
but let me tell you though, there's
Hmm.
purpose.
Hmm.
That car, after, like, I think I had it for like 6 years maybe. That
Hmm.
car, whenever I had bought my house, because I bought
Okay.
my house, I was 20 years old when I bought my house. I
Hmm.
had
Wow.
built up my credit to where I could get a house, and it just so happened that it was a recession of
Hmm.
Hmm.
2008. So
Okay.
2009, I bought my house, right?
Hmm.
After about 8 months, I had lost my job. I had lost my roommates. Everything was just kind
Wow.
of going downhill.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I was about to lose my house because I didn't have any money to pay for it. Guess
Wow.
what?
So that car.
What?
Little Carcachita got sold, and I got my money.
Oh, well, yeah. So you ended up keeping the car and just getting it fixed, is what I'm assuming, right?
Yeah.
No, yes, so I kept the car. I
Yeah.
just get
Okay.
fixed. I didn't have money to get
Yeah.
it. But when I got my
Right.
house, I was about to lose it. I sold
Yes, I
that
see.
car, and I paid my
Well,
house.
Yeah.
And
well, there.
that kept me afloat. So I was like,
Yeah. Wow.
everything. Don't give up.
Hmm.
That's
Yeah.
true. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it ultimately, like you said, it served its purpose, right?
Hmm.
It served its
Yeah.
purpose. Yeah.
I want to back up just a moment because I know we're going through your your childhood, and ultimately, you're a live painter. When did you develop a love for art, painting, and such like that? Like, what age, and how did that kind of come about?
Whenever I had a conversation with my mom a few years back, she said that I started drawing whenever I was 3.
Wow.
So I don't remember, obviously, those years of my life
Mm-hmm.
because I was so little, but I do remember drawing in middle school, drawing in high school, and then I was introduced to painting in high school in my
Okay.
junior or senior year. I
Okay.
wasn't really into painting because I've been a drawer my whole life.
Mm.
I see.
So So I was like, okay, I like it. It's soothing, it's therapeutic, but I really didn't pay much attention to it until I went to college. So I went to
Mm,
college the first
there we
time for
go.
cosmetology.
Uh-huh.
I was a cosmetologist. I was a stylist and makeup artist for 12 years. I decided at my 11th year, I was like, this is not for me. This is not really what I want to do, because
Okay.
cosmetology really was just it was my plan B. I knew that
Plan
I
B.
wasn't going to be my plan A. I just didn't
Mm-hmm.
know what my plan A was.
Mm-hmm.
So when you start getting money in a certain career, you're comfortable. You're like, okay, I
Yeah.
have money, I have this, I have my house now, I have a new car, we're good. But really,
Right.
is it giving you the passion, that is it satisfying that
No, is
fire?
it the number one, right?
So I decided, I was like, this is not for me. So I
Mm,
talked to my sisters, I talked to my mom. I was like, hey, I feel unhappy. I don't want to do this anymore. And they were like, well, I mean, think about it. You're an artist. Like, you've been an artist your whole life. And my mom
mm,
was always pushing me for that. She was like, just go back to school and do something with art. And
okay.
in that time, it's like no one really believed that art was going to pay your bills.
Yeah.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
that's
Mm-hmm.
why
What
they call it.
around what time is this particular conversation taking place?
I
You
was
like the year?
20. I was like 24.
24.
I'm
Okay.
35 right now, so like 11 years ago.
Okay, got you. Got you.
Art
Mm-hmm.
wasn't the value of for art wasn't revived until like
Right.
a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody was just like, well, what are you gonna do with art? Like, that's not gonna pay your bills. You're not gonna get anywhere with that. So I was like, I
Mm-hmm.
don't know about that. So I looked into programs with universities around me, and they had graphic design, and I was
Mm-hmm.
like, I can do graphic design because that's
Mm-hmm.
the future. That is literally
Absolutely.
my research. I did all the research, and I was like, let me do graphic design. That's still artsy. I know that I can
Mm-hmm.
do it because I've done Photoshop my whole life since I was like 16, and I'm very
Wow.
familiar
Okay.
with it. So yeah, that's like another story.
Yeah, yeah, no, but it all ties in. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I don't know if y'all remember LimeWire.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Downloading music?
Yeah.
That one?
So
A
I
little bit.
wired to download Photoshop back in the day. So I didn't pay for it. I
Oh,
just downloaded it off LimeWire. And that's how I learned all of Photoshop since I was 16.
wow. I
Yeah.
didn't know
So
you could even download Photoshop online where I just would
Yeah.
get
I didn't either.
music.
Yeah. I got some apps like that too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So anyway, I was like, well, I'm already proficient in that. Like, let's do it, right? So I went to school. I was 26 when I went back to school. And
Mhm.
I got my bachelor's degree in art marketing, which included classes um, with graphic design, marketing, all of that stuff.
Yes.
And within that curriculum, I decided to take portrait painting classes. So I
Mm,
took three
nice.
portrait painting classes, and
Uh-huh.
those were the three that literally took me to the next level and made me love paint. Oil
Mhm.
paint is my number one, but I love
Awesome.
acrylic. Um, so anyway, I graduated in 2019. Before I
Uh-huh.
graduate, a friend of mine has come up with the idea that they wanted to open a bakery in downtown Gainesville. They
Okay.
know me because we used to go to the same church together.
Mhm.
So the owner of the bakery is like, look, we open December 6th of
Mhm.
2019, and he's like,
2019.
graduating, so like we need an art director. And I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. I haven't graduated yet, and you want me to be the art director of a bakery?
Which
Like,
is
that's
great.
huge. I'm
Yeah.
like, huge opportunity. I couldn't
Mhm.
even believe it. I was like, I get to
Yeah.
do what I love and what I went to school for. So
Absolutely.
anyway, it's happy, sad, happy, and that's where I'm going right now.
Okay.
Long story short, I was so happy to get this job. I literally graduated and started working. It was an amazing job. I was doing their
Mhm.
graphics for their logo, their
Mm.
website, photography, videography. I mean, you name it.
Yeah.
Social media,
Wow.
social media was run by me. The entire social
Wow.
media was run by me,
Mhm.
and I was able to grow their social media on Instagram from 340 something followers to over 3,000 followers
Wow.
within
Wow.
2 weeks. So
Wow.
I was doing the thing.
Yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
COVID hits.
COVID, yep.
Yeah.
COVID hits. and they are like, "Oh my God, what are we gonna do? We can't
And
shut down. We can't."
they're a restaurant also, mind you, right? Or bakery, I should say. So all
A
of
bakery
bakeries, foods, places, entertainment, all of that is shut down at the time.
down, and they had
Yeah.
coffee, food, and stuff, and honestly, like, it's amazing. That bakery is like literally, they're Christian, so I know that
Hmm.
God's working in there, but like they have a gift.
Absolutely.
Um,
Yeah.
so I worked there for a year, and then 2020 came around, almost the end of 2020. They were like, we have to cut your hours to half.
Mm.
And that's when I was like, okay, well, that's fine. I'm still willing to help. I know this is going to be temporary,
Hmm.
um, that's cool. Cut me in half. I'll do photography on the side like I've been doing.
Yeah.
Right.
Uh, so mind you, this is doing photography on the side was still
Hmm.
happening.
Hmm.
2021 comes around, January 4th. I will never forget the day because I was so
Okay.
devastated. And they let me go.
Oh.
Wow.
And I'm depressed for like 2 months. I'm
Mm.
like, no, this was my dream job. It was just a lot of emotions. So God's just like telling me, he's like talking to me and saying, I have more for you. I have
Mm.
way more for you than you can ever imagine. This is what you think that was like for you, but I have
Uh-huh.
way more that I'm preparing you for. And I'm literally like living in that, and I'm being like
Yeah.
patient with that.
Yeah.
I am getting like little messages of like, I see somebody painting a wedding, and I'm like,
Hmm.
maybe I can do that. And so I start like searching for like people that are getting married so I can like offer them a free wedding painting.
Mm.
Uh-huh.
Comes along this influencer in Atlanta,
Uh-huh.
and is getting married, and I had already like followed her for like the past 2 years, and I sent her a
Hmm.
message, all casual, and I'm like, hey, I want to do a live wedding painting for you for free. You don't have to pay me. I will bring
Yeah.
all of my materials. And she was like so up for it. She was like, yes, please.
Wow.
I would
That's
love that.
incredible.
So from that,
That's
because she
incredible.
had such a high following, from
Yeah.
that wedding alone, I got 3 more clients, paid clients this
Wow.
time.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
from there, the rest is history. So now I'm like
Wow.
booked all 2023 and then half of
Wow.
2024.
That
Yeah.
is nuts, and we say that a lot. That's come up a few times here, where we even Midas and I talk about a lot of the opportunities that we've gotten that I've gotten started with doing something for free for
For
somebody,
free. Hmm.
Yeah.
and you just cold called this lady
Get that foot in the
basically
door.
and said, "Hey, I can do this," and she was like, "Hey, let's do it," and it ended up going
Yeah.
Blew
bonkers.
And
up. And the good thing is that I had paintings from like whenever I was in college. So I
Yeah,
had work to
something
show
to
her,
show
look,
her. Yeah,
yeah, I
yeah.
can do this. I can
yeah,
paint like this. I'd never done a
Hmm.
wedding, but I'm a very fast painter.
yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, in high school and college, I had always been told by my teachers that I was the fastest painter in the class.
Really.
Wow.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
when I remembered that, I was like,
Hmm.
wait, I have to paint a wedding in 7 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Fast painter. I've always been told that, and I know that I'm a fast painter. I can do this.
Wow.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
that's part one of it is you have to have the confidence to say I can do this and reach out to this person that don't even know that they want the service until you mention it to them.
Right.
And
Right.
then part
Right.
two, just like with us, if I say to someone, "Hey, I can I'll DJ your party for free," I have to kill it.
You
I
have
have
to
to
kill
kill
it.
it, you know. So you get the gig, and then you have to kill it in order for you to
Hmm.
get those other referrals from those other weddings
Right.
that you got since then.
And
Right.
everything's kind of connected because, like I said, I got a bachelor's degree in marketing. So I knew how
Hmm.
the whole social media happened. I was doing social media for
Absolutely.
8 years, and it blew up. And I'm
Uh-huh.
like, I can do this. So let's think about this. I'm like, she said yes, I'm going to do this wedding. I'm going to get my husband to come take photos of me and videos
Hmm.
of me
There you
on
go.
professional camera and get videos on my phone to make reels. And
Mm-hmm.
that was literally what I used to market on social media.
There you go.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then
That is.
we gotta throw that fate having God's favor in
Yeah.
there, because what are the chances really that you could reach out to an influencer, make an offer, they even read it,
Mm-hmm.
let alone respond and accept.
Yeah.
you
Exactly.
know?
Yeah.
Like,
And she
I
probably
didn't know
has
what
all kinds of stuff in her DMs, and then
Yeah, imagine that.
yours got
I didn't know
read.
what to expect. I just put it out there. And that's
Mm-hmm.
one thing about me that I'm very proud of is that, like I was telling you guys before the show went live, I dive in head first.
Uh-huh.
First with knowing that I can do all things and that God
Yes.
is with me and that I'm not scared to do something because it's either a learning opportunity
Mm-hmm.
or it's part of my purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
it's never I don't let fear get in the way because there's not I'm not gonna die. That's the
mm-hmm.
ultimate fear of dying.
Yeah.
What's gonna happen is they're gonna say no, or I'm gonna learn from it, and God's gonna be like, "This is not for you,"
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
keep
Absolutely.
moving.
Yeah, and I saw mom put on there about God's favor, and
Yeah.
often says having God's favor is more important than having money. Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
look
Yeah,
at it like having spiritual credit. You
Yeah.
got
so
a
important.
spiritual, unlimited spiritual American Express black card.
Yeah, buddy.
Let me tell you to say something, back
Sure,
off of that. Um, ugh, and I'm gonna try not to cry because this is very emotional for
it's
me.
okay. I've
It's
cried on there
okay.
before.
Yeah.
Just if you need to know.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
I was doing hairstyling, when I did photography or anything else that I tried in life, because I've tried so many
Mm-hmm.
things,
Right. Right.
I
Right.
have never impacted as many lives as I am now with painting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's your purpose ultimately, right?
God is just
The
like
gift.
moving through my gifts, and
Mm-hmm.
all I have to say is use my gifts for your glory, and
Mm-hmm.
nothing else matters to me. Like
Mm-hmm.
the money will come,
Yeah.
everything else will come.
Yeah.
I'm praying for a miracle baby, so I know
Mm-hmm.
that it'll come.
It'll
But
happen.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
for me, I just want to be in His path, just the right
Yeah.
path He
That's
wants me to be.
great.
All that
Ab-
matters to me right now.
that's
That's
wonderful.
awesome. So
Wonderful to
true.
hear. And especially and shout out to DJ Nuff said. I saw him
Yeah,
pop
Nuff
up
said
on
is
there.
watching on the Twitch channel. Shout out to DJ Nuff said and our Twitch following. He's on
Yeah.
Twitch. He's the king of
Yeah.
Twitch.
The King of Twitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Post in our community said whenever you're gonna be going live this week too. Post that in the No Shortcuts community. But I was gonna say, Myra, and especially as well, famous, you guys are impacting people on a special day that they're
Yeah.
always gonna remember. And so
Yeah.
Yes.
whether with you, Myra, they can take something physical with them, so that makes you connected to these people, and you don't know how
Yeah.
many people who you may be impacting, you may not even know. And famous, with you providing the soundscape to the
Mm-hmm.
wedding and the wedding reception and all of that, and your photo booth and all the amenities. So and even myself may not be as much in the capacity of a wedding, but just being able to impact people, and I
Yeah.
and I enjoy that just
Yeah.
as well as being able to have a career doing
Mm-hmm.
something that I'm gifted at or that I enjoy doing. So yeah, the
Yeah.
impact of having it, you want to, that's what we're here to do. We only pass this way one time, and you want to, yeah, and you want to impact people, especially if you're providing a service.
Mm-hmm.
We get a sense of joy and fulfillment from doing that.
And
Yeah.
what a lot of people don't understand is that everything moves through energy.
Yeah.
So it's the energy that you're giving out. Even
Hmm.
if you're not in the room, like right now, we are still giving out energy into the
For
universe.
sure.
So,
Hmm.
you know, with famous, doing his MC or DJing or whatever he does in
Hmm.
any of the weddings that he works at, his energy is being put out and people will
Yeah,
feel
Mm-hmm.
that.
I
So
believe it.
it's very important. It's like, especially like what you just said, when we give a service
Hmm.
that our hearts are in the right place and that we
Hmm.
give that energy of love,
Mm-hmm.
because
Yes,
people are going to feel that and they're going to take that
absolutely.
with them. Even if it's not said, it's felt.
It's felt. Yes, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Absolutely. That's
wonderful.
that's that's a good word right there, man. For
That's a
sure.
good word. We
That's
could
a
take
good
up an
word.
offering.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
at that wedding
I'll
that we
leave the
did to,
cash app for y'all.
oh
Oh
yeah,
yeah, put the cash app
yeah,
up
and
there.
Midas put his cash app on there too.
Sometimes.
Yeah, I'm gonna put my link to buymeacoffee.com.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
So that wedding that we were at together, I was there, like I said, mostly capturing content, and I still haven't even gone through all the photos and videos. But I did grab a couple. This one, I want to show this to the audience. This was actually you in action.
That was a
As
big
you,
canvas too.
Very nice.
Yeah, that was actually, and I passed by you a few times, and I have some actual video I have to get through as well. But I passed by you a few times, kind of checking on the progress to, see what was
Yeah.
going on back there. Because, like I said, I hadn't seen this before. I was like, "Yo, what's
Mm-hmm.
going on here?" And then I'd look, and I'd see the trees. I'd look again, I'd see the altar and stuff. It was so cool. And then this next one I pulled is this isn't from that wedding, but this is kind of the finished product. When that 7 hours later, this is pretty much what they get, right?
Yes,
Very
yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Usually, if it's a big canvas like that, I think that was like a 24 by 36.
Mm-hmm.
I will get them in the painting before I leave so I can do a reveal at the end of the night. But I do take
Mm-hmm.
it back to my studio so I can finish it. If
Okay.
it's a
Very
smaller
good.
canvas, smaller than like a 20 by 24, I just finished it this last weekend on site. That they can just take home with them and it's varnished and ready to go.
That's
So it
awesome.
really depends on the size, but they will see themselves before the night is over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for the
And
ones that you don't finish on site, how much more time generally once you get home with it?
Well, the thing is, I can finish it within a day or two, but since I
mm.
have so many weddings and
Oh
they're all
yeah.
have deadlines, I my
Yeah.
contract always says 8 to 12 weeks before it gets shipped out or
Okay.
delivered to them
Mm.
in person.
Okay.
Oh, that's
Okay.
awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I was making mention, and before we came on, that I had seen, someone painting live at a poetry event, and you said you were already plugged in with doing such things. What about just at concerts in particular? Have you done just like maybe outdoor concerts slash festivals, or is it just primarily wedding and poetry events?
Well, no, I've never painted at a poetry event. I've been to poetry
Oh,
events.
you've oh, I got you. I
I
got you.
wouldn't
So you haven't.
paint at a
Ah,
poetry event.
I see.
Yeah, I think I misheard you, but I love poetry events. My husband has taken me to two, and I'm just like obsessed with them.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
so amazing.
and
But
and I
right
was
now,
just
I
throwing it out.
focus on weddings.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay, right now, okay, and that's why I was throwing it out there to you before we came on, because I had seen someone doing that in my line of work, musician wise. I've seen someone at poetry festivals. They have vendors set up and different things, but I've seen someone painting live, and then sometimes at some of our outdoor concerts, there's someone painting live and everything as well. So maybe something you'd like to look into if you can take it on. You're probably too busy.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's really hard to add anything to my plate right
Yeah,
now
well,
because
that's great.
I'm
That's
so
great.
booked, and that's a good thing.
Hmm.
But it's
Yes.
also I have a plan for either this year or next year to start my own series because I do want to, be in gallery shows and stuff like
Hmm.
that. That's still part of me is that side of the passion, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that I'm going to be painting weddings for the rest of my life. I have other dreams and goals. Um,
Mm-hmm.
for now I enjoy it, but I do want to
Mm-hmm.
paint my own paintings. My passion is in my heritage and in my culture. So I
Mm-hmm.
want to start painting paintings of women and men, of their native roots,
Yeah.
from the Aztecs to the Mayans to the Native Americans. Like
Uh-huh.
it's all a passion of mine that I have, and
Got you.
yeah, I can't wait to start it. It's just
Yeah.
like a that I still have in the back of my mind. I'm like, I need to make time for this, but once
And
I,
then yeah.
it's
Go
gonna
ahead.
be
I'm
great.
sorry. And I was just gonna say, once you get into that, then all you got to do is hire you a couple of artists and painters that you trust to go take care of the weddings for you.
Yeah.
What I'm doing with photography and videography right now as we speak. I
Yeah.
mean, we
Yeah.
But
started doing that, and now our business has
that's
grown, and now we have a team under our belt, and now
that's
we
awesome.
take we send them out to do the photography and videography, who I definitely trust 1,000%. I'm still the editor of everything
Mm-hmm.
for now, but
Mm-hmm.
hopefully in the future we'll hire an editor for that.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
So
Sounds
let's
great.
let's
Now,
shout out some of the names of your brand so people know how to
yes.
contact you. What's the videography brand?
So the wedding photography and videography is called Good Studio Co. Good because God is always good.
Mm.
So that's why I named it that. Good Studio Co. And that we're on
Good
Instagram
Studio
and on
Co.
Facebook. Not so much on Twitter, but
Me
Instagram and
either.
Who is
but yeah, that's
Good
Good
Studio
Studio
Co.
Co.
Got it.
We travel
Okay.
anywhere. We do a lot of destination weddings in Mexico and Puerto Rico, and then
Nice.
local weddings here in Georgia as well.
Wow.
Tennessee, the Carolinas, and then the painting page is My Paints Live.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Hmm.
MAI, short for Myra Paint,
Yeah. My paint's live.
Get
and
it?
I travel for that.
Double entendre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
Wow.
for that, I'm traveling as well. I just came back from Missouri this weekend. I leave for San
Wow.
Francisco. I come back and then I go to Utah, and then after that I go to Idaho.
Oh yeah,
Um,
you're all over the place.
Yeah.
it's a
Building.
packed calendar. It's a packed calendar, but
Yeah.
um,
That's
I
awesome.
am making time for my family. I'm making time for my husband. I'm making time for just fun in the sun for the summer. So I
Mm-hmm.
didn't
Yeah.
too many weddings in August and
Hmm.
September, so I can have at least those 2 months a little less crazy.
Yeah.
Right, right. And I
Absolutely.
was going to ask you, say there's someone who will is listening now or will watch this replay, and they're straddling the fence about chasing after their passion or doing whatever it is they may be gifted at doing. They're 50-50. What could you say to make them lean into chasing their dream and pursuing their passion?
I have two things that I want to say to encourage someone that either wants to start a business or is already in the midst of having a business and just wants to take it to another level in two
Hmm.
different stages. The
Okay.
first, for the first stage of like creating your business and scaling it to where you want to where you want it to be, my advice is jump in and take the first step. You're
Mm.
never going to be ready. It's never going to be the right time.
Mm-hmm.
If you feel it in your heart, then it's God telling you through your intuition that it's for
Mm-hmm.
you and for you only. And it doesn't matter how saturated the industry is. You
Mm-hmm.
are unique. You and your energy are going to connect with other people like other people can't,
Yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
you're going to be highly favored. So
Yeah.
that's one. The second thing that I want to say, once you've already scaled it to where you want, you have the clients and all of that, I think that it's very important to have a balance in your life. A
Mm.
balance that includes time for family, time for your loved ones, time for
Mm-hmm.
yourself, even if it
Mm-hmm.
means going out and to a spa and getting a massage or going
Yes.
to see a movie by yourself or whatever it is. A balance is very important for your well-being and your
Mm.
self-care. And
Yes.
that's where I'm at right now. It's just this balance that I'm trying to adjust so that I can keep myself sane and
Mm-hmm.
also happy and fulfilled and my cup is
Yeah.
full
Mm-hmm.
and I can,
Yeah.
what do they say? If your cup is not filled, then how can you
Yeah.
pour
How
onto
can you pour to somebody else? And
Mm-hmm.
also, if this plane is going down, I got to put my oxygen mask on first.
and what good is it for you to be such a, you know, workaholic and just not have any days off and
Mm-hmm.
hustle, hustle, hustle when
Yeah.
later on 10 years from now you're like looking back and oh my God, everything that I missed out on. My
Yeah.
kids or my spouse or I didn't take that family vacation that everybody wanted me to there. I missed out on that and
Mm-hmm.
that's
Right.
time that you get back. So it's
Mm-hmm.
important to, yes, pour into your business, but also pour
Yeah.
into what God gave you, and that's family and your loved
Yeah.
ones and the people that really matter.
Yeah.
And lastly, we don't want to look back 20 years later and ask the question, what if?
What if?
Yeah.
That's what we're gonna title this. We spoke
Yes.
about that before we came on, ladies and
Mm-hmm.
gentlemen. I got to throw it back up. Then I think we actually gonna, if Famous agrees with me, we'll
Yeah.
we'll just title "Know What Is." The
No, what
bottom
if?
line: you don't want to get older, and and be in your rocking chair with your quilted blanket,
Mm-hmm.
watching the westerns and your soap operas, just like I
I
what if
should have
I
did
would have.
that. Mm-hmm.
Let's
Yeah,
answer those questions now.
I definitely wouldn't be here now if I didn't, reach out to that one influencer and said, "Hey, would you like for me to paint your wedding for free?"
Mm.
I will
Right.
absolutely do an amazing job. It would always in the back of my mind say, it would be a what if.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't
Mm-hmm.
be where I'm at right now and, in the right path where I'm supposed to go. So let the fear, what I say almost all the time is the on the other side of fear is always going to be the path to success.
Yeah,
On the
yeah.
other side of fear.
The other side, so you got to go through it.
Yeah.
Got to go through it. And famous,
Do
would
it.
you pop? Would you pop my mom's last comment up there? That
Yeah.
kind of
I'll
just
put it back.
sums it up. So your gift will make room for you and bring
And
you before great men and also great women.
yeah.
But yeah, thanks, mom. Mom is a avid supporter, of our platform. Anything I do, mom's an avid supporter. And if she missed the live last week, but she went back and caught the replay and commented. So she said she had
Yeah.
to keep her perfect attendance, and we honor that and we
Yes.
respect it and
Yeah.
love you so much for
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 sure.
always supporting.
Yeah. And we want to thank
Yeah,
everybody else that's been with us as well.
yeah. This
Thank
has
you for
been great.
joining with us on
Yeah,
Facebook, on YouTube,
yeah.
on Twitch. I know Juan couldn't be with us today. He's on that
He's out of
cruise.
town, isn't he? He's
Yeah,
gonna
I
join
think.
us next week,
Yeah, I think
hopefully.
we're going to try and get him live from the cruise, but
Shout out to
he couldn't be
Juan.
in with us. But I'm sure he'll catch the replay as well.
Yeah, I saw his picture with his book bag and three different flags in the book bag. I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, our boy is out there. Shout out
Yeah,
to
he's
Juan
ready.
though, very very faithful supporter. Shout out to Nuff Said and everyone else who's in the comments. If you are, just a spectator, you are a former guest. We appreciate you for sure.
Yeah, we absolutely do. And thank you to our guest,
To
Myra.
Myra, this was a great
Thank you for
conversation.
being
I
on with
thoroughly,
us.
I thoroughly enjoyed myself, and yeah, for sure. Applause. And for Famous and I, ladies and gentlemen, don't think that we don't take anything from these conversations as well. We take things from these conversations as well, whether it be a learning point, a boost, a little inspiration, a little
Yeah.
motivation to get us through the rest of the day or get us through the rest of the week. But so yeah, we enjoy coming on every week and just spending a lunch hour, or so with you guys and let it, like you said, Myra, energy is felt. We here, we feel you guys in the comments, and it's just something to help us all as entrepreneurs or supporters of those that are entrepreneurs. And we here, to support each other and make it do what it do.
Absolutely. And if you're
Exactly.
watching this live or you're watching on one of the replays, share it with someone. Put someone's name in the comments so they can see this as well. You know someone that's interested in art, or you know someone
Yeah.
that has an idea that they just
Yeah, and
haven't
just
made
general.
that step yet, and they need to hear this message. So make sure you share this with them. Tell them about it. Yo, you got to see this show. And then they'll
Yeah,
catch
for
it as
sure,
well.
for sure. Yeah,
It'll live on.
it'll live on YouTube. YouTube is ready over there for you guys right now. Shout out to you guys at YouTube. Shout out to Facebook once again. Shout out to Twitch. Nuff said joined us on Twitch, right?
Enough said
I
was
think
on
it
the Twitch channel.
Yeah, shout out to Twitch. Shout out to Instagram. Famous, what you got coming up this week?
Oh man, if you didn't ask me, I would have known.
Well, I'll go ahead and get mine.
I got a
Go
wedding
ahead.
Friday in Charlotte. I mean Friday at the Mint Museum in Charlotte.
Uh-huh.
Saturday pool party in Indian Land, and then a wedding Saturday night, and then Sunday a retirement party in Valentine.
Yeah, okay. I'll be at, let's see, ladies and gentlemen, the chairman of the board and executives will be at North Myrtle Beach on Thursday for the Music on Main concert series outside on the Horseshoe right in front of the beach. That showtime is from 7 until 9. Then, let's see, Saturday we will be in Stewart, Virginia for the Beach Music Festival there. There's other bands all day. Our slot is 4:30 to 6 in Stewart, Virginia. You can always go over to www.thechairmanoftheboard.com for more specifics and more details, or just go to my page. I post
Yeah.
just about everything.
Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention, Nuff says going to be with me on Saturday.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna try to catch
Yeah.
you guys, man. What time is your thing?
I think the wedding is like 5 o'clock. But
Yeah, see,
but
if
he'll be with me for the pool party as well, because it's gonna be
Yes.
a two DJ situation.
Yeah, see, I was thinking normally in Stewart we play a little bit on the earlier side, so I was thinking I might be back and catch
Yeah,
you guys,
roll
but they
through.
got us toward the end of the show. But
Oh,
as a
okay.
promoter, you want to save some of the better acts for
course.
last. That's
Yeah.
free game,
You guys are last
free
for sure.
99.
Headliners.
Yeah, Myra, what you got coming up this week? If you would like to say, you don't have to.
No, you're fine. This week I'm just trying to finish up some paintings, make some time for family. For Saturday, I have a painting in Johns Creek, Georgia, and then Sunday I leave to San Francisco for a wedding over there. I'm actually staying in San Francisco for a week because I've never been, so I want to explore.
Okay. Yeah.
My husband's coming with me. We're
That'll
gonna
be
do
fun.
some exploring, and yeah, so I'm excited.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
that'll be lots of fun. And real quick before we get out of here, make our shout outs to Touch of Faith, the Hour of Power community, Smooth Sales, Praise and Faith Gospel Shop, the chairman of the board, executives, Mellow Groove, and I think that covers everyone. Cruise Planners, shout out to Juan Velasquez.
Juan Velasquez, Cruise Planners, DJ Nuff Said, FMG, Juju Lee Events, and all my family there.
And our Earth, Wind, and Fire family, as well as our Honeycomb family.
Yes.
Yeah, that's covers.
This is the shout out part of the show.
Yeah, and we want to thank Miss Maira one more time. De Leon, how do I make sure I pronounce your name? Okay, wanted to. De Leon, let me.
Put some spice on it.
I decided I'm gonna say it the way it is, De Leon.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Especially as you get more prestigious in your industry, that's gonna work out just fine. But we want to thank you one final time for joining us here today. It was a great conversation. Your story is fantastic, and we wish you much continued success as you continue down the path of what God has for you, for sure.
Thank you so much for coming on. Stay on with us, Myra. We're going to end, and then we'll end the broadcast.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
And with that being said, join us next week, ladies and gentlemen, 12 p.m. next Tuesday. Invite a friend to our community. Go to our YouTube page. Hit that subscribe. God bless you all. Have a great rest of the day. Have a great rst of the week. We'll see you later. Peace. Love, y'all. As I knock my microphone down.
Turning as the world is turning.
We're